Hey, what is up, woodchoppers of YouTube? This video is a little bit different. I normally react to drum performances. Today I'm going to react to some advice. Now, I saw this video pop up the other day, and man, like all of Rob BEATDOWN Brown's videos, they hit me really hard. Now, I've featured Rob on my podcast before, so you can search that up. Link in the description. And if you're not already subscribed to him, his YouTube channel is one of my favorite drum YouTube channels out there. And I will also link his Instagram, which is where this popped up. Check this out.
Now, this last one that I want to give you for today is one that I would consider probably the most important of all of them. And this one has a lot more to do with what not to do at any point this year or any year following. And that is to not compare yourself to others. Trust me when I tell you that comparing yourself to others is like stepping on the brakes. There have been plenty of times over the last 35 years, even up until recently, where, comparing myself to others has just completely deflated me as a musician. The problem with comparing yourself to others is that it takes all of the attention away from your accomplishments, and now you're just focusing on the stuff you can't do. This person's progress and abilities over here have nothing to do with your own progress. At the end of the day, the only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself. That sounds a little corny, but it's just true. It's the main reason why it's a good idea to record yourself, because nothing feels better than noticing improvement where you are now compared to where you were 6 months ago. We don't all have the same abilities, and that's okay. So at no point during this year do I want you to compare yourself to anyone else out here on social media. Now, this last one that I want to give you for today is one that I would consider.
Wow. Yeah, just think about that. This is not an original concept, and Rob is really open about that. It's not an original, it's a stereotypical thing, right? Comparison is the thief of joy, or the grass is always greener on the side that is fertilized with bullshit. It's just that when Rob says it, like I said, it just hits. It's got a way of making it hit. There's so many things. I just feel so strongly about this topic. And there's just so many things racing through my head at the moment. So I'm going to be jumping all over the place. It's a completely unplanned video. I've got no script. I've got no, arc to this video really at all. It's just me riffing. You might have seen recently quite a big... I don't want to name any names. I don't want to throw any shade. You might have seen a big influencer who was always flexing in fancy cars. High-end luxury cars worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then it turned out, they were not his cars at all. And he was just basically renting that as a set. Same thing happens when people are doing ridiculous videos with a private jet. There are private jets you can hire, not to fly in, but just to film around or film outside of and make it appear that it's just horrible, right? And none of us are immune to it. A similar deal. Took a nice photo. If any of you guys follow me on Instagram, if you don't, that's all right too. I'm not telling you to, but just to let you know, I did a nice photo of outdoor shot of our house with lights, and looked really nice. And I lined up that shot to get rid of that and get rid of that and get the nice bit. Same when you're on holiday, you take a photo and this way, and you're trying to get that person out of the shot. So what you see in the photo is not what it was like, typically. And this is so true for drums and music and the status anxiety involved with learning. So typical thing I'll get on the channel is, who's learning? The teacher looks like the teacher's getting schooled on this video, when it's me watching Dennis Chambers or whoever. And I'm like, yeah. yeah, I'm getting skilled. I'm here to learn. I'm always in student mode. Trust me, I'm always in student mode. You can never get me with any of those, barbs that, hey, I think the teacher just became the student. It's like, hell yeah, I became the student. I've been in this game for so long. I've been a full-time drummer and drum teacher for as long as I can remember, for most of my life. And I know the deal. I went to jazz school, which sounds like a flex. If you've been there, you know it's not a flex, because you get there and it's like Top Gun for drummers, and you're like, I got into jazz school and I'm down here. Humbling. Instantly, I taught at an iconic drum school here in Auckland. Circa 2012, I think I started there. A place called Drum City. All the best drummers in town were teaching at Drum City. And, that place was the same. There was so much mutual respect, and there was just a way you acted and your way you respect for your fellow teachers. And you knew there, if people were offering you a gig, that I'm doing it. And feedback and drummers helping each other, and these kind of environments, you get a very strong sense of where you sit and humility. I've been beaten down so many times. I do not have a false sense of myself. I'm talking a lot about myself here, but I just want you guys to know that I'm not immune to any of this, okay? Another common one might be, might get sort of the barb of, your yoker is better than you. I've seen you play, your yoker's better than you. Or let's use an even younger drummer right at the moment, Caleb H, who I love. Caleb H. Caleb, he's better than you. And I'm like, yeah, this is better than me. I can't do that. I thought you were a drum teacher guy. Yeah, but not everybody is good at everything. Not everybody has worked on everything. Another sort of analogy for you, just thinking about Yuyoka, because she did a cover of 7 Days, which I featured on the channel, which was amazing. Myself, I did a video just the other day of 7 Days, Sting song, and I just went through the choruses, because I have always loved the song. I've never bothered to learn the song. And quickly, I knew that the verse groove with the rim clicks, really difficult. And it's a, crazy 5/4 groove. And it's a very difficult groove. Now, Yoyoka's obviously a lot younger than me, been playing less time than me. Played it, she nailed it, I went to learn it. I couldn't just do it. I would have to really work on it. But I did upload the choruses. Now, where am I going with this? I may not be the best drummer in the world, and no one is, because there's no such thing as the best drummer in the world. But I'm certainly not in that conversation. And here I am. I was doing, I guess in a way, you could look at it like, here was this photoshopped version of me, because I only did the chorus. I only did the bit I could do. I didn't do the verse. I can't play the verse yet. And then Yoyoka's done a whole cover of it. So you might say, well, Yoyoka's better than you. This is just so silly. You don't know what the other person has been working on. You don't know what they've been working on in the past to get them to that point, or why they chose that song. If there's a song you cannot play and someone starts playing drums, and within a very short space of time they can play this song or this thing that you want to do, social media, you are seeing the highlights reel. You are seeing the coming attractions. The trailer before the film, trying to drag you in there and get you sucked into it. And that's not to say that sometimes what we see on social media isn't impressive. It often is impressive. But again, you do not know how many days, hours, weeks, months, years, decades have gone into cultivating the skills to be able to produce that 8-second video. Try and think of another one, just, a personal one. Here's one that's going to blow your mind, hopefully, and hopefully this is going to be challenging and you might disagree with it. I'll take like one of my favorite drummers, Vinnie Cuda, again, drummer who played on 7 Days. Recency bias, thinking of Vinnie Cuda with that Sting song. So he's, in my opinion, one of the best drummers in the world. Now, I don't want to be fake humble, so I'll spin it around a bit. There's certain things I can do probably better than Vinnie. And you guys are going, hold up, wait a minute. But listen, it depends what we are talking about. It depends on the environment. So let's say for my covers band that I founded, the way I would treat and perform at a covers gig, I might be a better fit for that gig than Vinnie. Now this, again, could sound absolutely crazy. It's just the way it is. I know the guys in the band. I know all the endings. I know all the beginnings. I know that we cut the song off here and we segue into that song. I know how I'm going to act and interact with the band, because that type of scenario, like a corporate covers band, it's more like a friendship thing and like a vibe thing. And it just, I know this person tends to play like that, and I'll do that. And I know how loud I need to be in this venue in New Zealand, in this particular market. And Vinnie is not, he might not be the guy for that particular gig. Are you going to get Vinnie to band practice, to learn these songs, to learn all these endings, to hang out with the band, to be in the band photo, to tag this, to invite this person? You're starting to get the idea. Now, of course, in a million other ways, Vinnie is far superior to myself. I'm not crazy. Like, come on. But another one, like, you might get, for example, here's a good one. So just thinking of strengths and weaknesses, and we cannot be good at everything. That is impossible. No one has mastered drumming. No one's going to master every area of drumming. So let's say, for example, you get someone like Buddy Rich or Dennis Chambers, thinking of two people who do not read, for example. Now, I've personally got a big background in reading. So maybe I've got them there. Maybe there would be a sight reading situation where I might be the better fit. And let's think about it. Why? It's because of what I've worked on. And they're a much, much better fit and their strengths because of what they're worked on. I'm not them. I cannot try to be them. Similarly, I don't particularly want to be. I've gone down the track far enough I don't need to or want to be someone else. As Rob said in the video, I want to be the best version of myself. It's always going to sound like a bit of a pale imitation if you're trying to, always growing up, Jeff Porcaro was my guy. I had Jeff Porcaro. I'd love to sound like Jeff Porcaro. And I'm sure at least some of that, 100th or 1,000th of that has rubbed off into my playing and my taste, my musical choices perhaps. But do I sound like Jeff Porcaro? No. And do I want to sound like Jeff Porcaro? No, because he's Jeff Porcaro. He's got his parents, his upbringing, growing up in, coming through the ranks in the 70s and the 80s. It's a different time, a different style, his father was a famous percussionist. There are so many factors here. So many factors. And it's just counterproductive in general. Another classic would be someone like Alex DePario Siberiano. So I'm guilty of this. I will jokingly say something like, I give up, I burn my sticks because of how amazing he is. And he is amazing. I'm not saying he's not amazing. He is amazing. And he can do things that I could only dream of doing. But what might surprise viewers of the channel and might surprise some drummers, I don't particularly want to be him or to play like him. I'm happy to just enjoy it and see the freak show that's going on in those videos. So I love it, and hopefully I might take bits and pieces here and there, ideas, or at least try and work on some cool things that he does. I don't want to be him though. That's and I don't want to be that player. I'm happy to admire it and kind of leave it there. But guys, it's a different type of video. It's probably a bit of a rambling type video, but I just thought the way he put it, so straightforward, and it is a bit of a cliche, but cliches sometimes are cliches for a reason. And sometimes somebody might say something in a way that connects with you. So we've all heard this message before, probably thousands of times. It's a popular thing on social media to sort of post this kind of thing. But the message here is just, again, the authenticity, the way Rob is and the way he speaks. This one just connected with me, and I was just like, damn. Yeah. He nailed it. And he always does. That's why you have to subscribe to his channel, follow him on Instagram. Genuinely, it's just one of my favorite people in drumming for this reason. He gets you thinking. His exercises are brilliant. His lessons are brilliant. I'll link to him in the description of the video. So Rob Brown, thank you for being you. Guys, until next time, take it easy. Keep chopping wood. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Only yourself. I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.